Welcome back everyone to Welstopia. We are back here at the Sea Ghost where we are going to be building the rooms, the cabins that are underneath the forecastle here. And when we start here, of course we have a little problem of getting it below here. Now fortunately, the bulkheads here are going to extend further down below here, so we could just bring these out for the moment, and I think that will work. We will do one there also. Now here, let's see, we will be wanting a door though, right over here. Now how are we going to do a door? Because unfortunately, the door level yeah, door level is going to be challenging, isn't it? Because I'd hope to have the door be able to go straight through like that, but it won't be able to. So we'll have to improvise a little bit here. Perhaps do that. So go in and out like that. Good. And we could do the same thing then for this side over here. And oh no, we don't want anything. We want that to be like that. Then we can take care of that. And just do the same thing over here. Good. Now right here we're going to have the bulkhead that is between the two cabins that are here. Actually, one is the quarters for the lizard folk, and the other represents our galley. And of course the galley is going to be very important because I'm sure that the sailors aboard the ship are going to be wanting to eat. And will be wanting to eat. Whoops! We want that to be a little bit higher than that. Good, like that. I'm not going to fill up the walls on the front in here. Now, I was thinking what to do for this because this is going to be too small for what's planned of it. So I'll just have a door over here to lead into and consolidate that into a single storage area. If I could find some spruce. If I had enough spruce, I would be using spruce doors here. I think that would look better in this situation. This looks a little bit too fancy, I think, for this group. And, oh yeah, we're going to need a little bit more of dark oak over here. And that will make, here we go, this will be our galley. And that's why I have a furnace with me right now, is because every galley is going to be needing a stove. There we go. There we go. That's our stove where we're going to be cooking our stuff. There you go. Just throw that in there. A smoker might be even better, but that won't work for 1.13. I figure we could leave the way into the galley storeroom right open here, not worry about a door or anything like that, since that causes us little inconveniences as it is. There you go. Those are the rooms below the forecastle. Now the ones that are below the quarterdeck. The trouble I'm having with the quarterdeck area is that this ladder right here is going to make it more difficult to have the bulkhead between these two. Now, in the module, it does go out in a little bit, but because of the scale we work in Minecraft, I think that will just take up too much of our space. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace this with a literal ladder, and we'll just have a ladder going up instead of the stairway that we currently have there. And let's see, let's try this. Alright, let's try it like that, and just put some stairs that could take us up and down here, and I think we'll be fine. Assuming, of course, that we can get up and down then. Let's see, we have this here, this here. Yeah, alright, I can get up and down no problem. Now, I guess technically we will need a hatch of some sort on it. And that will present its own little challenges. I guess the best way to handle the hatch, obviously we could use a trap door for it. Let's try what we did over here, and that is use a couple of stairways. Let's see what that does. That is there. Actually, we could just put this over here like that so that we are good, so that that's covered up, that's covered up, that's covered up, and I guess that means replace that with, okay, for a moment there I said, what, I had no oak planks on there? Oh, of course I got no plank, there you go, and I think that should give us a nice good place to, and we don't have to worry about this side because this is where we are going to be placing the bulkhead. And that should work pretty well. Well, not if I go and use the wrong material. I think this looks good. Now we'll just have to do this for the rest of the bulkhead, and we could have, of course, for these two. Now, of course, we'll just have to assume that the actual shaft connecting to the rudder is inside of the bulkhead there, because that would make sense to hide it and protect it. And there we go. And we'll have to do the same thing on this side that we did on that side. It's not exactly what I'll call spacious, but we are on a ship after all. Now, a port would be nice to have on the aft of the ship. Oh, one on each side, I would think. One on there. And one right over here. There you go. Yeah, that way we could see what's behind us in pursuit or anything like that. Good. Now, I would like to have a bed in here. I tried experimenting putting a bed inside one of these rooms, and it did not work out very well because of the headroom or lack thereof that I had, or maybe it was because I didn't have full blocks around it or something like that, but sleeping on something in here just didn't work right. Maybe I'll do a couple more tweaks to that, because this would be a nice place to put a bed with you waking up there if possible. But I'm not going to worry about that at the moment because we still have things to do below decks. Down here we have the Bosons Quarters and the Mate's Quarters. Now, we are of course going to have some of the challenges down here that we had up there concerning beds and the like. Or, let's see, I suppose I could just replace that like that. And we could restore the stairs. Then we'll all be, yeah, okay, that's all we have to do for that. And we'll have the usual challenges below here. Of course, that's going down to the bilges where no one's going to go anyway, so if things don't look perfect down there, fine. Now this door here is a little bit closer to the sides on the ship, but there you go. Into here. Oh, it might help if we actually finish this off. Now, fortunately, I think... Isn't that our rudder? Oh, we certainly don't want to break our rudder while we're doing this. No, well... Let's get a few more of these. Yeah. Well, I suppose they'll just be doing like this. Now, one of the things that's missing in the Bosons Quarters is a parrot. Yes, the module is quite explicitly saying that there is a parrot in this room. And there are parrots in Minecraft, so I can't just say, well, there aren't any parrots in Minecraft, so therefore I can't have a parrot. No, there are actually parrots in Minecraft. The only problem is I've not been to a jungle, so I have not found one. So what I need to do is to really make this fit, is to see if I could head out, find a parrot. Maybe I was about to say someone might be selling one, but I just remembered I don't think I have any diamonds, so that would be out. If that's the case, I may just have to do without a parrot. Down here, of course, we have the goods that are being smuggled, because what good is a smuggling ship if you don't have goods to be smuggled? Hey, we've got a wizard on board. So floating chests are perfectly consistent, right? Must be some variation of Tensor's floating disk in there. Anyway, these are, according to the module, filled with bolts of silk. And I would presume that silk is gotten from all those spiders that we have below in there, because that, I don't know if I mentioned it before, but I think that the most likely thing that these guys are really doing is, while the module talks about smuggling goods and stuff like that, and I'm sure they are doing that quite a bit, they're most likely using the spider spawner below the house in order to create their own silk production that's competing, of course, against whatever silk production they have in Salt Marsh. Now, of course, in doing this, they're not paying the proper taxes and all for it, so yeah, it still qualifies as a bit of a smuggling operation in there, even if they are producing this silk rather than stealing it. But now that we've got that done, I guess it's time to get back downstairs. Okay, perhaps the bit about floating in the air isn't a very good idea. But we could say that they are on pallets to keep them off the floor, just in case the deck here got wet, so they're raised a little bit above it, and because we want to keep those silks safe. That actually is a much more reasonable explanation as to what's going on. Now, for the forecastle, for the quarters below the forecastle, I believe we have the crew quarters here. Yes, we have one set of rooms here that are, or cabins here, that are reserved for the crew. And in this case, the crew is going to be, well, they're supposed to be in hammocks rather than beds, so we wouldn't be worrying about the fiddliness of beds. And as I told you before, I even haven't put them into those yet, and might never bother to it, so we go in and out. Maybe I could just leave it open even, because we're talking about the crew here who will be going in and out all the time, and this is not exactly a call for privacy here, so maybe I'll just not worry about there being a door or anything like that. There you go. And then, can I go under here? No, of course I can't. So we'll just leave that open like that. And everything should be... Oops, that we want right. Oh, actually, we don't want a set of doors. Didn't I just go out of my way to... Of course, we only have one set. There's only one set of doors here. Now, in the module, they actually have a stairway down into the... I'm not going to be able to fit that. Down to the bilges, but of course, once you're down to the bilges, you can't do anything really in there in Minecraft, so just have to worry about that. So you just go in and out. This place will be filled with hammocks and all the other things, and there will be a table here. This is also their dining quarters. How are we going to do that without being too much of a problem? Well, I suppose I could try... Oh yeah, that. Well, that's going to be an interesting question, how we handle that. Because of course, we aren't going to have the proper size for everything. How about if we... do this? No. No, I was thinking that down a little bit. It's probably not a good idea. I guess I'll just have to leave that and not worry about it. Besides, most likely the mess table is something that's going to be temporary anyway, that's put down or put back up whenever needed. Of course, they probably also use it to do things like play cribbage and the like, but that's another matter. Back on the main deck, we also need a boat. Now, unfortunately, the boat is upside right, and normally I believe on a ship they put their boats upside down so that they don't become filled with water. So we are stuck with that little situation there. You can't just rename it dinner bone and turn it upside down or anything like that, which is unfortunate. So that leaves us what to do. Yeah, there are plenty of details. Maybe someday I could get around to furnishing this place, and there's always the question about getting a parrot for downstairs. But I think we've got the actual look of the ship done. I mean, there are two details that I need to complete. The first of these is that I need to get that bed off deck, and I need to get rid of this plank that I was using for construction. But more important than that, I'm going to need to do some digging, because right now this ship appears to have run aground, and I want to make sure I have a reasonable channel so that the ship is able to get in and out of this little area. And that means bringing out the shovel. Oh, there it is. This is one of those jobs where just be happy that I've got respiration. And just dig, 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 dig. And I'm probably going to have to go one below this. And I think that would all be nice and reasonable. Now I suspect that this is not going to be source blocks, because I could feel myself being pressed down a bit. I may have to find a solution for that. Somehow getting that all nice and waterlogged. But I think if I just turn a couple of blocks into a source, it should maybe fill in nice and readily. Of course, I can't just dig beneath the ship and say it's all done. Though, of course, that is going to be part of the operation. But I also need to dig down here because we have to make it believable that the ship was able to get through here. Because it has to have been able to get out from the sea into this shallow area and then be able to get back out afterwards. And if I want to put most of the channel near where there is clay, well then, how about that? What a coincidence. Here we go. We've got our room down at the hall. Now let's see if we are able to get all the way through here. This is a rather tight turn for a ship, I must admit. I think you'd have to be a wizard in order to be the pilot of the ship, which probably tells me that's what the wizard's job is, perhaps. I wasn't exactly sure what the wizard's job was concerning being the ship, if he was just some sort of boss in charge of the smugglers or something like this, but perhaps he's the pilot. Because you need someone who can get your way around here, get the winds just right, get the ship turned right, perhaps. All sorts of fun stuff you're going to have to do in order to get through here, it looks like. Speaking of which, how do you get out? Well, as I said, you gotta be a wizard in order to pilot this ship. At least in these waters. As I look on the ship, I remember that I forgot one other matter, and that is, of course, rigging. You can't do much with the ship without some rigging, because it's the... Well, I suppose that if it were oar-driven, you wouldn't have to worry about rigging all that much, but in a sail-powered ship, you'll definitely have to worry about rigging. Now, I suppose you could say, well, what about if this weren't a sail-driven ship? What if this were powered by oars or something like that? Well, I didn't quite build it that way. It's not that way in the module. Therefore, we are going to have to sail-driven. Now, there are two major types of sails, the square sails and the fore and aft sails, and the late age of sail ships had sort of a combination of both of those in a very complex array, but of course this would be from an earlier era type. Now, in the module, it's a single square sail that they've got. I would think in the waters here, a fore and aft sail would be more appropriate, but more challenging to build that, which is probably why most Minecrafters build square sails in any case. Therefore, I am going to have to forget about plausibility in the water. Besides, we've got a wizard here, right? And that wizard, if you need a wizard to navigate this place, then might as well go full hilt on that. Now, what I'm trying to do is seeing if I get a crow's nest here. And that'll be a real fun thing to try. Let's see. What I want to do is to temporarily put this here, and well, try to see if I could do this with... Alright, fine. Alright. This is why we need scaffolding. I mean, why can't they bring scaffolding to my... Oh yes, right! 1.14. Coming soon to a Minecraft near you. But anyway, without scaffolding, I guess I'm going to have to do this in order to get my way up and down around here. What I want to do is to get the crow's nest. And actually, the idea here is to have this all the way around like this, except right here where it's going to be open because that's where we've got the ladder. Yeah, I know in a real ship it's probably going to be... Actually, maybe that's not a bad idea. Because that I was thinking of doing something like that for many of the others anyways, so that just gave me the foundation I wanted. Well, it's not going to be perfect, but you get the idea. Don't ask me why I'm not falling at this point, but is there a way to do this with... How about like that? Now let's see if I can get this all the way through. Nope, don't like it. I think it's too narrow. So I will go to using regular blocks such as this. And like that. I need to see all those stairs down there. Right, good, and let's try this, and we'll have fences up here. And that will be the side. Let's see, well that will... better remove all the excess down there before I put that one on there. Someone from the crow's nest has absolutely no problem seeing the mansion down over there. Good. I think everything is all nice and perfect here to go up and down. Good. But didn't I start building this because I wanted some rigging? Let's see. Square rigged, right? Where would I put the yard arm? The best place I can see placing the yard arm will be right below the crow's nest. Means we're still in a precarious spot there no matter what. And I built this thing to avoid precarious spots. We need scaffolding! 1.14 can't come too soon. Maybe I should have saved this for 1.14. Oh boy. In our case, the sails are, of course, are going to be furled because they're currently in anchorage here inside of this area. And even then, there's probably some adjustment to the sail that they would have to do even when they are moving in this area, because this isn't exactly a place where you could go it to full sail. That's as close as I could come to a furled sail at this point. And we'll just say this is the sail furled up. And yes, it is a gray sail, but we are talking about the Sea Ghost here, and it's not exactly known for using the brightest colors in the world. So yes, I think that will do. Yes, I know, not a masterpiece in rigging. As soon as the sun comes up again, we'll take one more look at it. No, it's not a masterpiece in Minecraft building technology, or in sailing technology either for that matter, but I think it gets the point across. There you go. And there you go. Nice and good on the map. It's within visible range of the haunted mansion, which is one of the points there. I can't quite see it from the main part of the village, but I think that's part of the point too. It is going to be appearing on the map there. So I suppose some people are going to know about it for that reason. But I think this is the end of this build, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to head back to the village where we are going to return next time when we resume with Pineleaf Plays Minecraft Welstopia.